Hello, and welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk about something that is not talked about enough, and I think we need to bring more energy toward it. And that is the value of rest. And here's the thing about rest. I'm not just talking about chilling out. I'm not just talking about not exercising versus exercising. I'm talking about taking a break from trying. Now, this might seem insane, counterintuitive, especially if you are older and trying to conceive. But if you stay with me here today, I will explain to you the importance of rest and taking a break and what that actually means. As a reminder, I'm Bianca, fertility diet and lifestyle coach, professionally trained chef and holistic nutritionist, and I help people get and stay pregnant. And I hope that what you hear in this video today inspires your TTC journey to incorporate more rest and more focus on you. You might be looking at me with cross eyes at this moment, being like, Bianca, I'm 40, I'm 41. What do you mean take a break? Here is the thing about trying, is that sometimes when we are trying over and over and over again, we're deep in the process of IVF, we've done multiple rounds of IUI, we are trying and we're doing all of these things, we're taking all the supplements, we're seeing all the specialists. That is a lot. It's a lot emotionally, it can be a lot physically, and sometimes what our body is craving is a moment to exhale, a moment to breathe, a moment to put its shoulders down. Because when you are in, especially in the clinical space, you are getting poked, prodded, you're showing up to the clinic at 5 a.m. before work to do testing. You are taking all of the supplements at great expense to you. You are timing sex so intimacy just doesn't feel like it did before. And what your body is asking you at this moment is to pull back, and not pull back and do nothing, but pull back and pour into you. Meaning, if you are trying, you're beating your head against the wall, you're doing multiple rounds of IVF and it is not working, stop, take a step back, and use that time to assess. Is this working for me? Do I feel good? Are we getting anywhere? So often we get caught up in the breakneck speed and sort of like it's frenetic in a clinical space. Okay, IUI didn't work, let's do IVF. That didn't work, let's do another round of IVF. Should you do donor eggs? And it's like you have whiplash. And sometimes it is hard to see other solutions, other paths, other way forward when you are caught up in like the whirlpool of it all. But here's what I know. I have worked with women 35 plus, 40 plus, and my advice to them, certainly if they've been in the game a minute, is we are going to take a break. We are going to take 3 to 6 months, and we're not going to do nothing at that time. But what we are going to start to do is start having sex purely for pleasure. We're having sex on day 20. We're having sex on day 1. If you like period sex. We're having sex on day 10. We are just having sex to connect with our partner. When you pull back during that rest phase, you are also assessing what is going on with my body. What is going on with me? Do I get headaches all the time? Am I always craving sugar? Are my periods wonky and all over the place? Is my skin bad? And bringing attention and resolve to those areas, because those speak to your fertile baseline. And so often when we are in these clinical spaces, we aren't even asked about our blood sugar. We're not asked about our thyroid. We're not asked about our skin, our diet, etc. And so we are only entertaining one avenue, and sometimes that avenue is not the avenue or the street for you. But you don't know that until you step back, go back to the start, and really look around and assess and say, is this working for me? If you have done more than 3 IVF cycles, I can tell you right now, it is not working for you. You need to be thinking about other things. And those other things could be your blood sugar. It could be your liver health. It could be your stress, your inflammation, your cortisol. I want you to know that taking a break doesn't mean that you are doing nothing. It means that you are focusing on the things that matter. In a clinical space, you are talking about your drug protocol, your egg quality, your AMH, your FSH, but not once in those metrics will you be asked, how do you feel? How are your periods? Do you sleep well? What's your skin like? Do you drink enough water? Do you eat whole foods? Does your stomach hurt when you eat those foods? And those are the questions that will actually reveal and explain the unexplained. But unfortunately, you're not going to get those questions asked to you in a clinical space. And that is why you have to do that for yourself. Rest is so important and valuable in the TTC space, meaning if it's a choice between getting up and working out when you're tired or taking a little bit of extra sleep, you take extra sleep. If it's the difference between going out for that girls' night when you really feel like staying in, you stay in. That matters. But also it means taking a break from the things that feel punishing, taking a break from the things that are punishing and aren't working, and stepping back and asking your body, really looking inward and saying, what do you need from me? And most often your body is just screaming for a break. Your body is screaming for a return to you. Your body wants you to find your way back to yourself. And what I mean by that is when you start eating for blood sugar, that develops a conversation and a relationship with your body that can be very disconnected when you're getting poked and prodded and, sonogram this and all of that. Those are valuable diagnostics, but there are some moments where it pulls you away from that intuition that you have in your body. There are many clients that come to me and they say they've done rounds and rounds of this or that, the other thing, and they say it feels like it's wrong, but they're telling me it's right. And that's what I mean by coming back to yourself. If something inside of you says, this doesn't feel right, this doesn't feel good in my head, in my body, everywhere, that is the voice you need to listen to. And you will probably be told by your clinician that taking a break is unwise. We should really get at it. We got to pitter patter. We got to do it. And yes, in some cases, urgency is required. If you are 44 plus, okay, maybe a little bit more urgency. But if you're 36, if you're 38, if you're 41, I want you to take a huge step back and start to pour into you. I want to give you a little story about the power of rest and stepping back. So I had full body eczema, neck to ankle, everywhere in between. I worked in television, and so I'm so lucky it didn't come from the moneymaker of my face, but everywhere in between. I also had insulin resistance. I was told to fast. I was told to stop consuming dairy. I was told to stop consuming meat. And I was doing all of the things. I was taking all of the supplements. I was doing all of the things that I thought were right. From my doctor, I was using the cream, but then I was doing this thing and I was doing that thing. So what I ended up deciding after seeing someone who actually helped me, and she said, I don't want you, and this is when I was working out 6 days a week so intensely. I was also partying a lot. I was drinking a lot. I was not sleeping very well. I was fasting. I was literally not eating from 8 to noon, and I would white knuckle it. I'd wake up and be like, oh my God, I need to eat something. And I would have to distract myself for 4 or 5 hours until noon to eat, thinking that's what I'm supposed to do. My eczema got worse. My insulin resistance kept getting worse. I went to a naturopath and she looked at all the things I was doing and she said, I think you just need to relax a little bit. There's other things we can do, but overarchingly, everything has to be looked through the lens of calming down, relaxing, bringing some safety to your nervous system. She told me that I couldn't work out for a year. And honestly, initially I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna get fat. I lost weight that year. Why? Because everything that I was doing had the ability to settle. And that's what I'm talking about when I talk about rest. You could feel like you're doing everything, but if it is in a body that is not rested, that is stressed, that the cortisol is high, you're just in, like I said, that whirlpool of whiplash. It is very hard for the things that you do to land. For me, I didn't work out for a year. My eczema cleared up much faster than that, but I was kind of like, I'm vibing. I'm just going on walks, breathing deeply, doing stretches. And here I am losing weight. That wasn't the goal, but that was my fear that I would gain weight. And my eczema and my insulin resistance are going away. I did relatively the same things I did. I just included rest into the mix, and that changed everything. Also, while I was in that process of rest, so many other things that really helped me, I was able to be still enough to recognize that they were even in front of my face. There were some things that like someone presented to me and I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. And they would say to me, oh, I told you about it like 6 months ago, but I couldn't hear it. I was too busy. I was too in the weeds with what I was doing and just wanting it to work so bad and just wanting to force it to work. That is mirrored very much in a fertility journey that I've seen with many of my clients, and maybe this is you. So what I want you to prioritize is rest, just cool out, but also taking a break from trying so that you can work on you. When you work on you in this fertility journey, it actually is one that makes you feel good while you are in process to your baby. You are sleeping better, you're eating better food, your digestion is better, you don't have headaches, your periods aren't painful, you are actually enjoying your partner because you brought back the joy and the fun of just like having sex to have sex. And so you and him both feel amazing in this process to baby, as opposed to it feeling like this very clinical, outside of your body thing. I want you to reconnect with yourself. I want you to reconnect with your partner, and also understand that not trying doesn't mean that you are standing in inaction. How you get into action is doing something like the Fertility Blueprint. The Fertility Blueprint is the fertility prep program that addresses all of the root causes that are at play with your fertility challenges. We talk about blood sugar. We talk about gut, liver, stress, inflammation, and cortisol. And every single module is supported with a workshop, with recipes, with resources. This is what I want you to be doing when you take the break. This is what I want you to be doing when you step back, because it's, again, not about inaction, not about doing nothing, but it's about doing the things that actually are going to make you feel good, that are also going to speak to good fertility. The Fertility Blueprint helps people release weight loss resistance, reverse insulin resistance, reverse PCOS symptoms, but also get pregnant. Why? Because when you reverse insulin resistance symptoms, when you bring balance to your PCOS, when you heal your liver, when you increase your nutrient absorption, it helps with those conditions, but it also just helps you get pregnant. But in process of that, you feel good. The Fertility Blueprint, I say all the time, it will make you feel good while you are doing it. And that is the difference. And there's so much in there that I know, just being abreast of what's going on in the fertility world, that you are not hearing in other spaces. And I want to make sure that you get a full picture. I'm not anti-IUI, IVF, clinical, anything. I actually love that we have assisted reproductive technology. But I believe that we have to arm our body and prep our body for that process. Because also, fertility prep, pregnancy prep is also postpartum prep. It's birth prep. It's life prep. And so when I say I want you to stop trying, I want you to stop just like doing all of those things just to get pregnant. I want you to do them to feel better, because the byproduct of you feeling good in your body is you having better fertility. Your fertility baseline goes up when you start feeling good in your body. And that's what the Fertility Blueprint will help you do. It can feel like you're wasting time if you take a break and if you take a step back. And that might be your own mind creating that narrative, or it might be the narrative that's been created for you at the clinic. But here's the thing, it's not wasted time, it's a better use of your time. If you are spending 3 months beating your body up with IVF meds, that is wasted time, because you are not going to get the result you desire if you haven't gotten it yet and you've made no changes. Instead, take 3 to 6 months and work on you, and then your chances of IVF success, IUI success go up by over 40% when you balance your blood sugar, increase nutrient absorption, heal your liver by 40%. That means you only got to do it once, or you might not even need to do it at all. And so that is why I want you to just really lean into the idea of taking a step back, assessing the situation, and then pouring into you, because you are the vessel. Your body needs to be baby friendly, and sometimes taking a step back is how you do it. And I hope that I can help. See you next time.